Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Sunderland. Oh dear. Last time out, things didn't end so well. Back-to-back defeats against Bolton and Doncaster Rovers caused us some issues. Just a quick refresher, the Sky Bet League 1 table currently looks like this. We currently sit in second. 50 points, 3 points behind aforementioned Doncaster Rovers. Not ideal. Not an ideal way to go so far. But the board, relatively happy. C+. Disappointed with our form in the league though. They are expecting us to win the League 1 title. Obviously. And we're not currently doing that. So hopefully we can turn things around today. We are at the 1st of January. So we do have a transfer window to play through. Hopefully, maybe not so much the first team I'll be focusing on, because I have been scouting whilst we've been away and not really the options out there that I really like. We have got plenty of offers in though for some youngsters, particularly some free players. I'll show you them just shortly. We'll get back to a standard screen so you can actually see. There we are. A good couple of number of players there. A couple of which might end up making it into the first team squad straight away. But yeah, it's been a rough transfer window so far. Obviously you haven't seen any of it, but I've been looking and the options available to Sunderland currently aren't exactly ideal when you only have 424k and 15k available in the wages. Got a lot of players scouted. This Spanish centre-half from Barcelona I would like to sign. He's available on a free transfer at the end of this season, but he's not currently willing to speak to me, unfortunately. He's going to wait until near the end of his deal, which is fine. That's his prerogative. But we will be looking to revisit him at some point. He is on my shortlist, so if he does receive an offer from another club, I should know about it. Another centre-half who we've been looking at from Real Madrid this time is Victor Chust. A decent centre-half. Would definitely increase the strength and depth we've got. Whether he would make it into the first team or not remains to be seen. Jordan Willis and Tom Flanagan have been doing pretty well there for us. Rafael Barbosa from Sporting. Attacker midfielder who I anticipate would replace Chris Maguire in the squad next season. Maybe as a backup, maybe as a starter. It all depends what league we're in. Lars Den Donker from Club Brugge, decent defensive midfielder, available on a free. He's only valued at 32k, so if he does accept our contract offer, he shouldn't really cost us too much to bring him in permanently right now. Donny Varderham from Ajax, it says he's a centre-back, I don't really see him as a centre-back, I see him more as a deep-lying playmaker in the defensive midfield area, 17 years old. If he is to accept my contract offer, I might just leave him at Ajax for the rest of the season, as they're very likely to have much better training facilities, coaching staff and youth facilities, which he will be able to take advantage of for the rest of his time there. 17 determination is nice to see. His flexibility will come invaluable at some point, I have no doubt, with Sunderland. The nice thing about doing a longer term save is I can get these boys in with the anticipation of actually developing them myself and making use of them. Thiago Lopez from FC Porto. He's one who I would think he would come into the first team squad as a backup if we are able to sign him. It shouldn't cost us too much to be able to sign him permanently from FC Porto. Melia Aldelkulach from Olympic Lyon was somebody who I'm interested in signing for our under-18 squad. He looks very, very good, well-rounded, 17 years old. He wouldn't be able to join us immediately, as I believe only French players can leave once they hit 18 years old. And the final one who I've made an approach for is Mads Zaar. Esbjerg, under 19 player, Danish. Good striker, I like his physicals. Mentals not so much. Technicals are looking fantastic though for his age. He does have the versatility to play on the right hand side as well. He's either footed, which is something I am highly interested in. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. We do have an accepted offer for Will Grigg, 500k from Rotherham. Whether they can match his wage demands or not remains to be seen. I hope he will leave the club. It will be a massive benefit to our wage bill. Same can be said for Joe Lynch, centre-back. He's had a bid accepted from Hull City, so he could move up to the Championship. 7k per week will be nice to be able to reclaim and look to invest it into our own squad, or at least protect our finances a little bit better. One out has already been agreed, which is Kyle Lafferty. Saving 10k per week on him. He is joining Ulsan in the South Korean League. So good luck to him. He did okay for us when he got game time, but we do have better options available in the squad already, so we don't need to focus on him too much. First game of today then. Today's episode will be Fleetwood Town at away from home. It is in the league, so ideally we can look to close that gap on Doncaster Rovers, who currently sit top, as soon as possible. In terms of the first team squad, I think we're pretty much full strength apart from Lyndon Gooch. I'm relatively happy with this squad that we've got right now. We'll put Duncan Watmore on the bench. I want Luke O'Nien on the bench as well. We'll put Will Grigg on instead of Kyle Lafferty, just in case he ends up staying. But let's get into the first match of today. Fleetwood Town. Let's see if they can cause us any problems. We did beat them 4-0 at home, so I would hope that we're able to get the win against them, but you never know. We might end up struggling. Passionately tell the boys that we have faith, and let's get to the kick-off. We have our preferences set right. We have our first highlight of the game and of today's stream, 4 minutes in. Dobson whips the ball in. Penaranda's there, gets cleared though. Success keeps the ball alive. Mumba out at Denver Hume. Oh, what a finish, my son. Our left back, Denver Hume. He's developed quite nicely over the course of this season, and that's his third goal of the season from left back. Bally Mumba is the man getting the assist. It's too choppy, so we'll go back to 2D. Mumba, nice little ball here to Denver Hume on the left hand side, and that's a great finish. Fleetwood's players are already knackered, so I'm hoping we can continue this sort of pressure for the first half and really tire them out for the second, and we can go for the throat as Penaranda's shot goes well wide. Well wide. Highlight now, Chris Maguire with a corner. It's whipped in. Isaac Success is there. He gets his 16th goal of the season. He's really started to turn things around in the last 10 games or so. He's been absolutely magnificent coming off that left-hand side. Picking up for Penaranda's slack, to be quite honest with you. Chris Maguire again being our set-piece specialist and whipping that corner in as we have ourselves another highlight. Looks like we are really running rampant. Peneranda with this. Oh, great save by Cairns and goal. The Fleetwood Town goalkeeper keeping it at 2-0. Another highlight now, another corner. Chris Maguire to Success again. Tell you what, it's exactly the same as the second goal. We will take that all day. Isaac Success's second goal of the game. And that puts us 3-0 up. His 17th goal for the season. I think Success is someone I would be interested in re-signing for the Championship season if he's available and there's nobody better. Which there very well might be. His attributes are already good enough for the Championship. We are very, very lucky to have him in League One. So if there is an option to extend his contract at the end of the season, I might end up having to activate it. Because at the very least, he's capable cover on that left-hand side and striker. But I anticipate him being a first-team player. Highlight now, Andrew coming down the left-hand side for Fleetwood. The first attack and highlight we have seen going in their benefit. We're closing them down well though, knocking out the space. They do have the options on the wings. We are defending quite narrow as McKay finds his way in. It comes out to Madden. He hits the post. And Fleetwood do not get their goal before half-time, hopefully. 6 minutes still to go. Denver Hume with a free kick. Tries to pump it over the top for Peneranda. Defender gets there first. Conor McLaughlin's got the time and the space to bring that down. Dobson to Ballymumba. Flanagan, we've got options on the left-hand side if we need them. We're trying to find Peneranda's feet. He's not that kind of striker, unfortunately. Dobson, can he play it out wide? Maguire, back to Dobson. Conor McLaughlin is an acres of space if we want him. Maguire's going that way. He finds McLaughlin. Can he beat his man? He's going to whip it in. He does. Success at the back post. He hits the bar. Almost gets his hat-trick within the first half. That would have been an absolutely fantastic beginning to the first half. But 3-0 up. within the first half. We are well and truly putting the nightmares from last episode behind us, the last 2 games. So far, anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We could very easily end up turning around in the second half, but hopefully not. We have had a lot of the possession and a lot of the chances. Penaranda coming down the right-hand side. Gets to the byline, whips it in. Success is our back post. Hits the bar again. Semenyo. Success has hit the post twice. He should have his hat-trick. Unfortunately, it is not a beat today. Maguire with the corner. He's got to whip it in. Oh, come on. I want 4. I want 6. Willis. Playing it back to Conor McLaughlin. End of highlight, I thought so. Semenyo's not having the greatest game. Neither is Penaranda. We could look to make them subs. Maguire with a free kick. Set piece again. Played back post to Semenyo. And he goes over the bar. We do have Duncan Watmore and Will Grigg on the bench. I don't really want to bring Will Grigg on, to be quite honest with you. I would rather he move to Rotherham. 20 minutes to go though. Successes on his hat-trick, so he's not coming off, son. You're staying on. Ballymumba can come off though. Bring on Max Power in that central midfield role. Don't want to take any risks with the yellow cards. We'll take off George Dobson as well, who's also on a yellow. And bring on Josh Scowen in that defensive midfield role to see us out for the rest of this game. Only 20 minutes left. We haven't seen too much attack and intent from Fleetwood. Let's see if that changed. Penaranda with it. Oh, it brings it down beautifully. Can you finish? Oh, Penaranda, please. I really need to unlock Penaranda's goal scoring form again. He's on 10 goals for the season, but 7 of them came in the first 4 games. So he's only scored 3 goals in the previous 20 or something. Maguire with a corner. Penaranda gets dispossessed by the defender. It comes out to Jordan Willis. What can you do, Jordan? Anything special? Out to Flanagan. Out to Willis. Max Power. Semenyo. Where's Conor McLaughlin? He's usually down here. Finds Denver Hume though on the left hand side. Gets it to Isaac. Success. Hat-trick. It's blocked by the defender. Back out to Denver Hume. Back to Penaranda. And Adalberto Penaranda gets his goal. His 17th goal for the season. And that puts us 4-0 up. Only 7 minutes remaining. Got no more need to worry about this game now. The game is done. We will look to make our final substitute of the game. It's going to be Denver Hume coming off. We'll bring on Tommy Smith, our centre-back at left-back. We don't have our backup left-back on the bench, unfortunately. 3 minutes to go. Chris Maguire plays it in. Success gets there. And he gets his hat-trick. All from corners, all with headers. And he puts us 5-0 up against Fleetwood Town. We are well and truly putting the horrors of the past behind us and have bounced back in spectacular fashion. There it is then. Fleetwood Town 0, Sunderland 5. An absolutely fantastic way to start today's stream. Doncaster did win their game. They beat Oxford at home. We'll have to keep an eye on their results going forward. Alongside Blackpool. They beat Rotherham 3-0 away from home. Where does that leave us in terms of scheduling? Got Nottingham Forest Championship opposition in the FA Cup 3rd round coming up next. We are at home though, so there is potential that we can maybe do some damage. The board are expecting us to get to the 4th round of the FA Cup, so ideally, in the interests of preserving ourselves as Sunderland manager, I would like to meet at least that expectation if we can. Bailey Wright doesn't feel like he's getting the starting time he was promised ahead of move. He's on 10k per week. He's been injured for the majority of the season. And as we are now only playing 2 centre-backs, I think we can't afford to lose him. We can. I'm going to suggest that we terminate his contract. If that's what you want, I'm pleased you've seen sense. Bailey Wright is going to leave the club, then we're going to save £10,000 per week. That is huge for the rest of our season. I will take another look at the finance screen because our projections weren't very good at the start of the season for the rest of the year. Let's have a look. Oh, we're actually not going to be in the negative. We're going to be on 315k according to the projections, which is nice. It still means we've got another £9 million to lose though. So as much as that we can save as possible, that would be great. Kyle Lafferty has left the club, officially joining the South Korean side. Wish him well. Bailey Wright's loan finishes, which now gives us 38k in the wage budget, we can end up bumping up our transfer budget a bit. Maybe to 1,026,000 available in the wages. That seems canny. Let's see who's on the transfer list, shall we? It's not something I frequent too often, the transfer list, because there's never really any good youngsters available there. But let's take a look. Let's see who's on. I don't want to say the physicals. All the selection. General info. Oh, a lot of expensive players here. Can you believe Tilo Kera's interested in a transfer to me? He is interested. He's on 83 grand per week though, which was about half of our current wage budget. Pierre Kunde we've been scouting. Looks like a fantastic central midfielder. Again though, probably a little bit too expensive for our tastes right now. In fact, this money is better saved. I've got confidence with our youngsters coming in that we can get promoted out of this league. Hopefully by winning it. And we'll save our money. Sunderland need to save all the money they can get. So I think that is for the best if we do that. We'll wait and see if any of the approaches that would end up getting confirmed or not. A lot of the youngsters that we have approached have offers from other clubs as well, so we will end up losing out on some of them. Some of them will end up signing contracts at their current clubs. But I'm hoping that with the promise of a pathway to the first team that we can convince a couple of them to maybe make the switch. As you can see, Rafael Barbosa is one of the ones we've approached. He's got offers from a lot bigger clubs than us, so I will imagine he will end up leaving. Ezequiel Zeballos is someone we've been scouting. LA Galaxy currently made a £4.6 million offer, so likelihood is that we won't be able to bring him to Sunderland, at least not for the foreseeable future. Maybe once we get to the Premier League or close to it, then we can start looking at those sort of players. Here we are, our first two signings of the January transfer window. Lars Dendoncker, a very good defensive midfielder. We will accept that offer and bring him in. And Madzar, a decent striking option. Probably end up sitting in the under-23s, these two lads, but they are very, very good. How much do they want to bring him in permanently? £18,000? Yeah, you can have it. Madzar, £5,000? I think we can stretch to that. There's Lars Dendoncker, then a 2-star current, 4.5-star potential defensive midfielder. He is sitting in our under-23s currently. I want him training as a deep-lying playmaker in the defensive midfield role. And Madzar is in our under-23s also. A 2-star current, 5-star potential striker. Advanced forward is the role I would like him to train in. He's currently more of a naturally a false 9. But we can train that out of him. We can get him to be an advanced forward. Bali Mumba consistently remains the best trainer at the club, which is nice to see from one of your youngsters. And someone who I'm seeing as a financial boon to the club. Thiago Lopez has agreed to join us, a left back, which is good. He might end up coming in the first team squad, him and being a backup option to Denver Hume. Greg rejects Rotherham. Oh, I was banking on that transfer. Will Grigg is going to be a noose around our necks for the rest of this season, I imagine now. I will continue to offer him out to other clubs. But Will Grigg is likely to be a Sunderland player for a while yet. At least until his deal expires, which is 2022. I mean, please, anybody, take him off my hands. So Thiago Lopez, how much can we sign him for? He's currently valued at 47,000. They will accept 24. And Donny Warmadam accepts our offer from Ajax. We can bring him in for 24k, but I'm going to actually not do that. I'm going to leave him in the Ajax setup and hope that he can come to us at the end of this season a much better player. The centre-back we approached from Real Madrid, Victor Chust, has decided to sign a new contract with them rather than join us, which is fine. And there's Thiago Lopez. Not as good potential as I was hoping. 2-star current, 3.5-star potential. We'll get him into the first team squad. And we'll get him training as a wing back on attack, which is what we currently operate in. I will still look to give him game time because our other backup left back is currently on loan, and I'm not bothered about developing other people's players. I'd rather develop my own. Tommy Smith can come out for Tom Flanagan at centre back. Semenyo can come out for... We'll start Duncan Watmore today. Lyndon Gooch is still returning from his injury, so we will look to give him game time in the future. I'm happy with his squad. Nottingham Forest at home in the FA Cup Championship opposition. It's going to be a real struggle to get through this one, but the board expect it. So what Stuart Donald wants, Stuart Donald gets. Playing a pretty similar formation to ourselves. They're playing on a cautious team mentality whilst we are on attacking. It'll have to be something we readjust after the first 15 minutes or so, depending on how the game goes. But we kick off. Things are starting pretty well the first 10 minutes. Highlight now, Chris Maguire. We are deadly from set pieces. Penaranda. There we are, 1-0 up already against Championship opposition, and we will immediately go off the attacking team mentality and move to a more positive one. Just keep our boys grounded, central. We've got a lot of work still to go in this game. Still 70 minutes or so remaining. But an absolutely unbelievable start. Highlight now, Chris Maguire. Bury this. Oh, he does as well. Chris Maguire. I tell you what, he is fast becoming the absolute star of this save. 7 goals for the season. A free kick of absolute dreams. The keeper should probably save it, but we don't care. We'll skip that. Let's get into the rest of the game. Nottingham Forest now. Maybe they've woken up after going 2-0 down. Cash on this right-hand side whips the ball in. Flanagan gets it clear, but it comes out to Semedo. Sal. Left-hand side is completely open if they want to use it. Carvalho. Back to Sal. Back to Dawson. And the ball finds its way to Cash on this right-hand side. Denver Hume comes out to stop the cross. He doesn't get it. Da Costa's there. Good save. Oh, it's a goal kick. I thought it was a save by John McLaughlin, but we will take that all day long. Another highlight now. Us in possession. Tom Flanagan with the ball over the top. We give the ball away sloppily, and now are we going to win it back? McLaughlin. Just keep it calm, lads. No need to panic. The defence doing pretty well. Nottingham Forest don't seem to be playing with that much press and urgency. Chris Maguire brings the ball forward, plays the ball down to the left-hand side for Penaranda. There's absolutely nobody in support. So he's going to have to do it himself if he's to do it at all. And Samba gets an easy save. Another highlight now, Carvalho with a free kick for Nottingham Forest. Ball's played in. So, good save by John McLaughlin. Come on, John. 2-0 up. We need to keep it that way. The highlight isn't over, according to Football Manager, so maybe there might be something in it for us. George Dobson, Ballymumba and Maguire really combining well in that central part of the pitch. Finds Duncan Watmore on the right-hand side. Oh, he finds Isaac Success on the left-hand side. Out to Denver Hume. Are you going to whip it in, son? No, he's not. He's going to hit the defender instead. Plays it out to Costa, to Cash. Come on, lads. Win this. Jota brings it down. Goes for goal. Oh, Jota gets his second goal of the season. Gets Nottingham Forest well back into this game. Not ideal. Would love to have get to the second half at 2-0 up. But it wasn't to be. Two minutes remaining or so the first half. Can we restart our 2-goal lead? I would love it if we could. McLaughlin to George Dobson to Maguire. He's in the box. Plays it back out to George. Come on, Connor. Whip it in, son. He does. Penaranda. Oh, he hits the bar. Adalberto. Please. Another highlight now. Ballymumba. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Please, can we get in at least a 2-1? That would be ideal. Watmore's in. Come on, Watmore. Duncan. Oh, brilliant block by the defender in the end. Back out to McLaughlin. And it's the end of that highlight. Go, really, really good. Really, really good first half performance from us, that. I'm happy with the performance so far. Keep it up, boys. Absolutely delighted. If we can continue this for the rest of the game, we'll be absolutely laughing. We'll have matched our board's expectations and knocked out championship quality team. That's what we need to do. Success. Brings the ball down the left-hand side. Maguire. Excellent play by us for Denver Hume on the left. He's going to go for goal, isn't he? You can see it happen. Should really be crossing that back post. We would have had a very clear opportunity. We'll go to a balanced team mentality now. Nottingham Forest have went balanced as well. Duncan Watmore. What a goal, my son. We've just got a subscriber. Kyle, thank you very much for subscribing, mate. And welcome. Maguire, great. Set pieces galore. Set pieces is what's making our side tick at the moment. And Chris Maguire with his goal and 2 assists in attacking midfield. We should have been playing this sort of system sooner. We would have got a lot more out of him over the course of a season. Another highlight now, 58 minutes in. Only half an hour to go in this game. Can we knock out Nottingham Forest? FA Cup 3rd round. Denver Hume picks up the ball on the left-hand side to Flanagan. I don't like this. They've definitely upped the press and urgency. You can see it. We were getting a lot of space and a lot of time in the ball between defence and midfield, but they've upped it now. Half an hour to go. We're keeping the ball well. We've worked it pretty well. Dodgy pass by Ballymumba, but it does find its desired target. Ballymumba, lovely ball through to Penaranda. Oh, he hits the post. Oh, Adalberto, please. Right, substitution time. 25 minutes to go. Success. Scored a hat-trick last game, not having the greatest one this time. We'll bring on Antoine Semenyo. And we'll also bring on our new signing, Thiago Lopez, on for Denver Hume at left-back. Trying to keep the injuries as low as possible and trying to freshen the legs up for the rest of this game. No doubt they're going to go very attacking pretty soon with only 15 minutes to go. The ball's played in. Dawson heads over. We're getting away with this 2-goal advantage. 10 minutes. They've made the change. We're going to go on cautious. Try and catch them on the counter for the final 8 minutes or so. Nottingham Forest have been dreadful this game, by the way. Championship side, who I don't know if it's a rotated side or not because they're playing lower league opposition, but they haven't been very good. Semenyo gets dispossessed by Cash DaCosta. Oh, we win it. Well, good defending by Tom Flanagan. That could have easily been a counter-attack and opportunity for Nottingham Forest. Give the ball away though in the midfield. And look at this. This is the pass. Joe Carvalho picks it up in an advanced area. Diakabi on the right hand side. Save this, McLaughlin. Oh, we don't need to worry. That shot was absolutely terrible. 5 minutes to go. They are still only on a positive team. There's the very attacking change. But it's not going to... Hopefully it's not going to lead to anything. 3 minutes remaining of injury time. Thiago Lopez brings it forward to Semenyo. Can you bury this? Tight angle. Good save by Samba in the end. And with only 15 seconds or so remaining, that is going to see us through to the FA Cup 4th round. That is absolutely a huge result. Our board do expect us to get to the 4th round. And if we are to slip up in the league, we need as much leeway as we can possibly get to avoid the sack. And there we have it then. Sunderland AFC 3, Nottingham Forest 1. Great result. Chris Maguire is an absolute king. Got a huge game coming up next in the league as well. Lincoln City. They're currently sitting 4th position. We need a win in that game. Go on to Club Vision now. They are pleased we have reached the 4th round. Are they expecting us to get past that? To be past, like? Chris Maguire with his man of the match performance. We will rest the boys for the next game. Our boys have been relatively injury free so far this season, and I would like it to keep that way. 2 home games coming up next in the league. We need 6 points out of that. No question about it. And we need to hope that Doncaster Rovers start slipping up in form for us to be able to capitalise and take advantage. Looks like we're going to have a couple of suspensions there. Tom Flanagan's going to be out for the next game. Does give Tommy Smith, our backup centre-back, an opportunity to come into the first team squad and try to make that spot his own. Tommy Smith is very, very highly rated by my assistant manager, not so much by me. I prefer Tom Flanagan. Will Grigg, we did accept a £500,000 offer from Rotherham. No wage contribution. Unfortunately, he rejected that contract, so now we're trying to shift him. Denver Hume is developing beautifully. Looks like he's coming towards the end of his potential though, so that might be as good as it gets for Denver. Hopefully not. I would like to see him continue to improve even more. Being an academy graduate will obviously be massive for us in the championship. You do need registration rules to match at least one academy player or homegrown player by club in your starting squad, either on the bench or in the starting 11. Waiting for some more offers to come in for our youngsters that we've approached whose contracts are expiring. We've already made a couple of signings, if you haven't seen it. You saw Thiago Lopez coming on there. Our backup left back from FC Porto was signed for 24k, I believe. Yeah, so these are the 3 signings we've made so far. Lars Den Donker, £18,000, defensive midfielder from Club Brugge. Mads Zar from Esbjerg, 5.5k, promising striker, 2-star current, 5-star potential. And that's our new backup left wing back, or left back, Thiago Lopez from Porto for 23k. So we haven't spent a lot of money yet. We have cancelled the loan deals of Bailey Wright, and we've also sold Kyle Lafferty. There's another subscriber, Phillies Lee. Welcome. Thank you very much for subscribing. We are on the road to 1,000. We might get there by the end of the year, you never know. 3-star current, 4-star potential defensive midfielder, available on a free. I'm hoping we're going to be a championship club next season. I have tried to approach this boy, Patrick Berner from Nice. The contract talks did fall through. So I am going to try again once he's willing to speak to me. I think he will be an excellent option at right back. He compares quite favourably to Conor McLaughlin, who is currently our starting right back. Aston Villa. Why do we get Premier League opposition? I wouldn't have minded making it as far as possible in the FA Cup, but that's probably where it's going to come to an end. We are away from home as well, so we'll just have to counter them into the ground. I think that is the option. Easy win predicted against Lincoln City. I don't think it's going to be quite that easy. They currently sit in 4th position. They've had a very, very good start of the season. I think they were close to the top at one point. They have dropped away a little bit. There's West Ham coming in for the boy we've offered a deal to. Lynch rejects Hull. The other centre-back we were trying to get rid of. It's currently wanted by Doncaster. Ice Swallow come. Thank you for that. I don't care. I'll say your name if you subscribe to us. I don't really care. We'll offer Joe Lynch out again. Hoping he maybe gets another championship club interested who can offer him the sort of wages he is after. I would take that all day. Nothing. Declan John is our 3rd choice left back now, so if he wants to terminate his loan deal, I will allow it. There we are. Declan John currently on, I think he's 10k per week, 8k. So we're going to save another further £8,000 of our wage budget whilst we continue to try to fix the finances of Sunderland. Let's see what that does to our wage budget. We've got 30k available. £1 million available in the transfer budget. Maybe 1.4, 21k looks a little bit better. I think if we are to make any permanent transfer signings, it will be towards the back end of the window. As more players get desperate to leave their clubs and clubs get desperate to sell their players. It will probably increase the amount of players that are actually interested in joining us. Starting 11 seems pretty good to me. Lyndon Gooch getting back in the squad after returning from injury. I do want Thiago Lopez on the bench. I will back up left wing back. I also would like get Will Grigg off. Semenyo will be our backup striker. We'll get Duncan Watmore on the bench as well, who can come on the right hand side. But this is a massive game, a test as to how we are going. It looks like they're playing a counter-attacking team. 4-4-1-1. We are going to stay on the attack though for at least the first 15-20 minutes. See if we can get the first goal. And really kick things off. Come on boys. We need this win today. Need to keep up the pressure on Doncaster Rovers, who currently sit top of the table. Lyndon Gooch picks up the ball on the right-hand side. Plays it out to Isaac Success. Can he whip it in? He can. McLaughlin's there. Go on. Isaac. Oh. Early chance. Early chance. I do want to keep an eye on the later scores, so I will look to bring them up. I want to see what Doncaster Rovers are doing every single match. Well, I'll get that back after. I do need to keep an eye on Lincoln's formation. Doesn't look like we are really in control of this game. It's pretty even so far. We're going to reduce ourselves to a positive team mentality. Try and keep the ball a little bit better. And see where that takes us. Isaac Success. Oh, no penalty, ref? No penalty? John Jules brings it forward for Lincoln. Are they going to cause us some problems now? Down the right-hand side. Oh, nearly get the challenge in, but it does fall to Chapman in the midfield. Coventry. Oh, come on, lads. Get out there. Chapman to Grant. Conor McLaughlin with a great challenge. Clears the ball. Penaranda brings it down. He's got the pace to beat these boys. Has he got the finishing? Not from that angle. "32 minutes gone. I would like to get a goal before half-time if possible. Chris Maguire, he's the man who can do it if anybody can. Plays the ball into Penaranda. Cleared by Lewis. Chapman gets to the ball first ahead of our boys. Conor McLaughlin is at the back though and can cover for our centre-half, so we're up for the corner. Tommy Smith picks it up. Out of Success on this left-hand side. He's got the overlap. Use the overlap. Oh no. Isaac, please. Good challenge. Ballymumba wins it. Well, he doesn't win it. He picks up the ball afterwards. Tommy Smith with the ball down the left-hand side. Penaranda is on the chase. Lincoln deal with it well though. Success wins the ball on the left. Well done. He hasn't got many options though. Oh, he's took down. That is a penalty. We have got ourselves a penalty in the 38th minute. It will be Chris Maguire stepping up to take it, our set-piece specialist. Let's see if he can put us 1-0 up. He certainly can. He doesn't miss. Sunderland 1, Lincoln City 0. Doncaster Rovers are currently winning as well, so that's not an ideal. Need Portsmouth to really start stepping up. Don't need to see the replay for a penalty. We've seen them all before. Well done, boys. Going into half-time, 1-0 up. We will passionately tell them we are pleased with how things are going. Lincoln do look like they're going to cause us some problems. We'll have to keep an eye on their formation and tactic and see where their team mentality is at. If I was their manager, I would have changed already, but they haven't quite changed it yet. First highlight of the second half. This is completely messing up. Get off. I don't care. Penaranda. Driving forward. Finds Lyndon Gooch in the box. You've got to finish this. Oh, you had all the time in the world, Lyndon. Please. Chris Maguire with a corner kick. We all know what he's like from a set piece. Not so good there. He is usually quite good. Ball goes out back out for a corner. That is absolutely fine by us. 35 minutes remaining in this game. Chris steps over it again, plays it in. Goes to the back post this time. It's cleared by Lewis. George Dobson's going to be the man who picks it up. Highlight over. That was fun. George. Plays it back to Jordan. Bally. We're a bit concentrated on this right-hand side. Probably a good idea to go all the way back to the goalkeeper and start again. Hello so far. How's it going? I am very pleased that I'm saving you for the boring home office. McLaughlin whips it in. Penaranda! There it is. Adalberto gets his 19th for the season and puts us 2-0 up. We are well in control of this game now. That's the idea so far. There's going to be a lot of people sitting at home with not a lot to do, so I'm glad people are dropping in, joining in, and getting at least a little bit of entertainment during these boring days. 15 minutes to go. We will look to make our changes. Lyndon Gooch can come off a dunk on Watmore. Chris Maguire, he's done well. We'll take him off for Max Power in the attack midfield role, and we'll bring on Semenyo on the left-hand side for Isaac's Success. They have now went to a more positive team mentality. I'm waiting for the very attacking. Is it going to happen? There, it's there. We'll go counter for the final few minutes. But that should see us get a very, very vital victory against Lincoln City. Conor McLaughlin, the right back, being the man of the match. And we will take that all day. Doncaster Rovers did end up beating Portsmouth, unfortunately. That one goal in the 25th minute sees them sail their 3 points. We're still only 3 points ahead of Blackpool as well, so they've beat Bolton today. But we are starting to pull away from the playoff spots, apart from Blackpool. Yeah, no worries so far. Thank you very much for dropping in. I appreciate it. It is the January transfer window so far. We're not really looking to make too many first team signings. We have made a few signings so far. Thiago Lopez, Madza and Lars Dendonka, all on very cheap deals because the contracts were running out. The only one you'll see in the first team squad is Thiago Lopez, who's come in as our backup left back. I will keep my eye out for the rest of the transfer window to see if anything pops up, because we do have a little bit of funding, 1.5 million and 20k per week. So we could make a signing, but it would have to be a player who's championship quality at this point. I don't really want to be in the habit of signing players when we're expected to be promoted. It looks like Ballymumba's deal's running out soon. I think 2022, he's got 2 years left, 1.5k per week. Tell you what, let's give Ballymumba a new deal. Regular starter, that's what he is. Maybe 2.5k per week, and see what he thinks about that. Minimum fee release clause, we're getting rid of that straight away. I do not want to be hamstrung by that even a little bit. You can knock his yearly wage right down to 5% as well. If he takes that, I'm more than happy with that. Ballymumba locked in for a further 3 years. No minimum fee release clause. What happened on your derby saves so far? Oh, one really strange thing on this save. The Brexit happened, or it didn't happen. We ended up staying in the EU, which is the very first time I've had a save where we haven't actually left the EU. So in terms of signing European players, we are absolutely golden. There's Ezekiel Zabelos, the guy we spoke about earlier, leaving Boca Juniors and joining LA Galaxy for a few million. Ah, yeah, Udinese. Well, they've both got the same owners, haven't they? Udinese and Watford. Definitely some dodgy dealings there. A couple of under-the-table shakes, I would imagine. Ismail Assar's a very good player as well. Very, very good player. Yeah, I always see dodgy dealings between Udinese, Watford and Granada. We have missed out on Rafael Barbosa. He's decided to join AS Monaco. We had approached to sign him for a free, but obviously had a better option in Monaco than Sunderland. He'll not get as much game time as he would have for me though. There is that. Alright. Tommy Smith back out for Tom Flanagan, who returns from suspension. Everything else seems champion. We want Thiago Lopez on the bench. We also want Duncan Watmore on the bench. And that is that. Let's get to the game against Wycombe Wanderers. Another home game. Hopefully we can get ourselves another win. 3 wins on the bounce in the league would go down an absolute treat. We'll just have to G the boys up and hope that they can perform for us again. Wycombe, I think, are sitting mid-table. Currently 19th, so actually pretty far down the table. What a bet this is the game we'll draw or get beat. I wouldn't be surprised. Wheeler picks up the ball coming down at the left-hand side for Wycombe. George Dobson does well to get back there, and Willis can hopefully clear it up. I thought Jordan Willis had just passed it into his own net. Yeah, it's tough as well so far doing the British only save. Penaranda with the goal, putting us 1-0 up. Because they cost so much, especially the high potential English players, cost an absolute fortune. So it's a very difficult challenge and a good one to take up. I've done it a few times over the years with English teams, and a couple of times with Italian teams as well. Italian teams are much easier. I think they just produce a higher level of good youngsters, and they also don't cost as much. Another highlight now. Flanagan wins the ball and Mumba can find Maguire. Penaranda's in behind. Can he get his second goal of the game? He certainly can. Adalberto is hopefully starting to find his goal scoring form again. 21 goals for the season now. 2 goals today. I think he scored in the previous 2 as well. So he is doing very, very well after his rocky mid-season. But then again, he should be doing well with the sort of attributes he's got for a League One club. Highlight now, corner for Wycombe. It's played in back post. Probably shouldn't be on attacking. That might have been a good idea. Darius Charles gets his 3rd goal of the season for Wycombe to bring them back to 1 goal. Not too happy about that, but I'm actually going to stay attacking. They're currently playing defensively. We might as well try and go for goals whilst they are sitting back and letting us do it. Lyndon Gooch picks up the ball on the right hand side. Back to McLaughlin. Out to Willis. Is the player going to be switched? Keeping the ball well, causing their boys to run about for a bit, but we're not really... Oh, Willis loses it to Smythe. Smythe gets in the box. Oh, John McLaughlin saves us a little bit there. Italy's always a league I go to so far personally. Sampdoria. I have a yearly save with Sampdoria on a network with a friend of mine. I don't know why Sampdoria. We've been doing it since about FM 2008. Denver Hume brings the ball down the left hand side. Go on, whip it. Oh, he gets past his man Peneranda for his hat-trick. Back out to Lyndon Gooch. Play back to McLaughlin. Whip it in back post. Denver Hume. Denver Hume gets his 4th goal of the season. There is no offside, so we are okay. And Sunderland go 3-1 up against Wycombe Wanderers. 7 minutes to go in this half. And I'm happy with how things are going. We've got a highlight straight from the goal. Let's see if we can keep ourselves 3-1 up, or if Wycombe going to cause us some problems. Hume does well to defend that. Plays it back to John McLaughlin. And everything's calm. Ballymumba out to the left-hand side for Isaac's success. He's been pretty quiet so far this game. So we'll see if he can do any damage now. Ball comes back out to Ballymumba after a block from the Wycombe defender. George Dobson out to Ballymumba. Denver Hume's the pass there. It's there. George Dobson finds him. Can he whip it in? Plays it to Bally. Doing really, really well keeping possession here, but we're not really finding that killer ball. We really need to get Chris Maguire on the ball if we want to find that pass that just splits the defence open. Denver Hume, though, he's in behind. He's going to go for goal. Oh my God, Denver Hume. How have you just scored that? Denver Hume's 5th goal of the season. We will have to try and say that in 3D. Might look a bit choppy, but we'll roll with it. So Denver Hume picks up the ball on the left, gets to the byline. The keeper should not be getting beat from this angle, but he does. And Denver Hume's 5th goal of the season sees us go 4-1 up. 2 for Denver, 2 for Adalberto. Got potential for 2 hat-tricks here, hopefully. Passionately tell the boys they have done very, very well. I'd be more than happy if the result was to finish like this. Wycombe still haven't changed their system, formation, or anything. So no need to react with ours. Peneranda goes close from a corner. We'll look to make some changes soon. Is anyone on the bench I really want to give game time to? Luke 09, I wouldn't mind. We'll get Conor McLaughlin off. He's been playing a lot of football recently. Max Power as well. We'll get Ballymumba off. Max really deserves to get more game time, but I really want to progress with Ballymumba and have him develop as far as he possibly can to be our talisman for the save, at least initially. Luke 09 picks up a knock straight away. We'll bring on Josh Scowen, a central midfielder at right back. We don't have too many options on the bench, but he'd no doubt do a good job there. He's a well-rounded central midfielder. Few minutes to go in this match. Wycombe still on going for it. They've barely changed. And now we have it. Sunderland 4, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Please, Doncaster Rovers have dropped points. Please. Come on. I want us back top of the table. We have been. Doncaster Rovers get beat off Bristol Rovers. We now return to the top of the table. Blackpool have got a game in hand. But we are 6 points clear from them currently. Hopefully the board are a little bit more pleased with us now. There we are. We've moved up to a B from a C+. Moving up the grades. We'll thank Denver Hume for his match just there. We've got Fleetwood Town next. That is in the Leeson.com trophy. We're going to rotate the side for this one. The board aren't bothered where we come in this competition, so neither am I. As long as it doesn't affect our form too badly if we aren't to win. But we have beat Fleetwood twice in the last 6 games. So we've definitely got their number. I'll be 2 seconds, lads. I've just heard a knock at the door. And I'm back. Yeah, Sunderland. The AI seems to really struggle with Sunderland. I think in pretty much every save I've had, they've sometimes bounced to the Championship, but they never stay there long if they do manage to get promoted. But most of the time, they are a League One club from the very start, and they continue to do so. Come on, Ballymumba. I just love seeing the green attributes go up. Right then, so Fleetwood Town is next. Milton Keynes Dons away from home after that, back in league action. And it's surprising so far that Sunderland struggled so badly, because the first squad you start with on the game is pretty good for League One. It should theoretically be relatively easy to get them promoted. Not stupidly easy, but, you know, they've got the players to get out of this division. Yeah, Ballymumba's really motoring on since we started giving him as much first team football as possible. He is still wanted by a lot of Premier League clubs, but hopefully once he signs his new contract, they'll go away. But I think I've said it on previous streams, if they are to come in for Ballymumba, it's going to take 15 million minimum. And that's only if we need the money to improve the squad. If we've already got a squad that we're happy with, then I'll not even bother. Yeah, that's it so far. One of the reasons why Sunderland don't do so well is because the board expects you to win the league. So even if you come in second, they're going to be disappointed. We're in the FA Cup 4th round, which has matched their expectation. I think we'll match the expectations in the League Cup as well. They're not interested in the Leeson.com trophy, but we are doing pretty well in that as well. So I think the fact that the board are pretty strict in terms of what they want is a little bit shocking. This isn't Sunderland's first season in League One. This is the second season, so to expect to win the league is a little bit ambitious. I think a reasonable expectations would have been to get promoted either through the playoffs or automatically. That would have been a reasonable expectation. Can you believe Tilo Kehrer is he's interested. He would sign for me if I had the money. He'd only want 100 grand a week to do it. It would be quite nice. Matthias Arezzo. This is the main guy. His contract is running out, but he's not interested. Oh, he is interested in talking to me now. I think it's the work permit issue, isn't it? I've got to offer him above 6k and pay £1.7 million in damage compensation. I'm going to offer 675, or they're going to accept it. Yeah. Has anyone seen this boy? I can't even remember ever seeing him. Matthias Arezzo. I can sign him for £1 million. As long as he gets his work permit, which is not guaranteed. But I will give him his money that he needs. And I will start him every single game. Good afternoon, Football Fun. Glad to see you. Yeah, Tilo Kehrer is constantly on the transfer list. Always. Right, so we're going to give this boy... We're probably not going to be able to make this signing. We'll probably not be able to get it over the line. We'll try our best. Wants a little bit more than that. You can have all this, mate. I do not mind at all. Suggest the terms. We'll see if it ends up happening or not. Yeah, Adam Plozek, he's a good player. He's joined Borough on your Football Fun. I can't remember ever seeing him. He might not have that top quality potential, but he looks like he'll be more than good enough for this league and the Championship. And if we give him loads of game time, but the chances are his work permit is going to get rejected. We're not paying enough in the transfer fee. Yeah, it is for Sunderland. His contract's running out. Football Fun. He's interested in joining. We've got £1.4 million to spend. We've made the offer. We'll wait and see if it comes through. I've made a couple of signings already. Football Fun, nothing too major. Lars Den Donker for 18k. Defensive midfielder from Club Bruges. Madzar from Esbjerg for 5.5k. Decent striker. He's already improving. Just sitting in our under-23s. And Thiago Lopez was signed as our backup left back. We've sent Declan John back to Swansea, saving in on his wages and brought him in for a lot cheaper. We've played, I think, 4 games so far this episode. We've won all 4. 5-0, 3-1, 2-0, 4-1. FA Cup third round win against Championship Nottingham Forest. Right, we'll see how we get on. We're going to play a more rotated side. Luke O'Nine's currently not fit though, so he's going to have to sit this one out. Willis can come out. We'll bring in Joe Lynch. Tommy Smith can start. Denver Hume can come out for Thiago Lopez. Oh, if I can do that correctly, that would be great. George Dobson can come out for Josh Scowen. Ballymumba can come out for Max Power. We'll keep Lyndon Gucci in. I want to see his match fitness move up a bit. Actually, I'm going to start Ballymumba and put Max Power in the attacking midfield role. We'll keep things like that. Isaac Success and Semenyo. I like that. We'll bring Grant Ledbetter onto the bench. Submit this team. Let's go for it. Yeah, I think it is Football Fun. I think it is. Is it Leon Dendonker for Wolves? He was available on a free at the end of the season, but I decided to bring him in for the, what was it, the 20k or so we paid for him. Just to get him into the under-23s, bolster that squad, and hope to maybe develop him, sell him next season for some money, or look to bring him into the first team squad in a couple of years' time. The issue is when you're signing potential players when you're in League One, you're not really getting that high of a potential. It's just potential in comparison to your squad. So I'm always wary of spending too much money when I'm lower down the leagues. First highlight of the game was took to the 33rd minute against Fleetwood. Conor McLaughlin picks it up on the right hand side, whips it in, success is back post. And Isaac, he's been doing it this episode so far. He scored a hat-trick in the very first game. And he gets himself a goal today. 1-0 up, his 19th goal of the season. And I think this is the... Is this the quarter-final? Is this the knockout round? Oh, God. Paddy Madden. That's a great goal from Fleetwood. Paddy Madden equals things up 2 minutes later. Harrison Biggins is the man with the assist. I want to say this again. Coyle with the free kick out of Burns. How does this happen? Lynch lets his man go completely. Tries to play the offside trap. Disappointing that. That's why Joe Lynch is not a starter for us. One going into the second half is not the end of the world. We'll kick things off. Tell the boys we have faith. Even if we don't in some of them. They have the ability to make the difference. Another highlight now. Lyndon Gooch with the ball. Plays it back to Josh Scowen. George Dobson. We do seem to work it pretty well in the centre of the park. And then eventually we find the wing backs coming forward. Gooch picks up the ball in the box to McLaughlin. Back to Power. He shoots. Max Power. He should get more game time, shouldn't he, really? It's not the first time he's done this. Yeah, QPR did manage to get rid of Lynch. Did we sign him directly from Used Football Fund? I think it was, wasn't it? I don't think he's been particularly great for us in real life either. Mackay. Oh, Fleetwood nearly equalised straight away. We'll go to a positive team mentality. Look to just retain possession a little bit more. McLaughlin. He's an assist machine at right back. And I'm looking to replace him. That's how terrible I am. Lyndon Gooch dispossessed by Mackay on this left hand side. Does well to get back, but he does make a pass to Coots back to Mackay. Do not give away a penalty. Ball's played in. Thiago Lopez clears. Back out to Coots. Biggins to Josh Morris. Dempsey. Lovely play by Fleetwood out to Coyle on the right hand side. Ball's whipped in. Mackay's there. McLaughlin with the save. Strong but clumsy. I think you've just described Sunderland's defence altogether, football from. Especially our centre-backs. Semenyo picks up the ball. Plays it into Lyndon Gooch. Successes are in the box. Oh, he goes just wide with that one. So this is the Leeson.com Trophy third round. Not quite the quarter-final. I think the quarter-final is next, if we do make it through today. 15 minutes to go. Can we put the nail in the coffin of this Fleetwood team? Semenyo picks up the ball on the right hand side. Oh, I thought he was going to give it away there. He doesn't. He keeps hold of possession. He's going to go by himself, and that is a terrible strike. He does well to get to the position, but not so great to finish it off. With only 10 minutes or so to go, we will look to make some changes. Conor McLaughlin. We'll put Ballymumba in at right back. We'll put Duncan Watmore right midfield. We'll put Chris Maguire on the left-hand side. Save some legs. Need to keep our squad as fresh as we possibly can for the league, which is the main focus of today. Duncan Watmore plays the ball back to John McLaughlin. We do seem to play it out. I was just about to compliment the defence there. Maybe not these two centre-backs that we've got right now, but we are able to retain possession pretty well between the defence and the midfield. Lynch with the ball up top. Semenyo can't win that. Madden. Tommy Smith with the win. Chris Maguire. It's backwards and forwards. Neither side knows what to do with Semenyo's in. He's not offside either. Semenyo. He's offside. The assistant didn't flag. I'm telling you. Oh, never mind. Almost. Max Power with the corner. He whips it in. Semenyo's there. Oh, good save by the keeper and we hit the bar. Oh, Duncan Watmore keeps it in. Is this going to lead to anything? He gets in. Dobson. Looks like Fleetwood are going to clear. We should be 3-1 up in this game. Josh Scowen wins the ball. Go on, Josh. Plays it in. Maguire. Oh, he hits the ball. Come on. Please, somebody. Scowen. Oh. I don't think this highlight's going to end. I think we're just going to have 3 minutes of me hitting the bar. George Dobson goes for goal. Comes back out to Scowen. Ballymumba's overlapping on the right-hand side. Back to Max Power. He whips it in. Semenyo can't get his head onto it. It goes just over the top. Oh, goes out. Now that was a highlight and a half. There we are. Full time then. We make it through the Leeson.com Trophy third round. We are getting to the later stages of that competition. It would be nice to win it. We'll get some silverware in our very first season. But if we are to get beat, that's not the end of the world. Max Power gets man of the match after his fantastic goal. Fully deserved. We are playing MK Dons next in 3 days. They are mid-table. I think they are 11th in the league. So it won't be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination away from home. But we need to keep up the winning ways to keep Doncaster Rovers at bay. Lee Burge would like to go out on loan. I would not like Lee Burge to go out on loan. I don't want to have to go on the rake for a goalkeeper. Wait. He's bottled it. I offered to put him on the transfer list and he's bottled it. We are without Penaranda for quite a while looking at things, so Semenyo is probably going to be our starting striker for the time being. If we are able to bring in Arezzo, it's the perfect time to bring him in. Has nobody else went in for him? That is crazy. Benfica and Nancy are both interested. But £1 million must be too expensive. That £1 million bid, by the way, is cheaper than the £1.7 million we would have to pay in compensation if we were just to approach him directly. And that's often the case on Football Manager. If you are interested in a player straight away, if you have to pay a compensation, the likelihood is you will get that reduced by just paying them outright straight away and making an offer. Let's see if Chummy is interested in speaking to us yet. He's not. What about the right back? I need to find him. Can't remember what his name was. Was it Burner? Patrick Burner. I would very much like to bring him in. I think he looks pretty good. And he is willing to talk to me now. I don't want to give him a big pay rise, but he can go on an intensive language course. 6k per week's not too bad. I don't want to give him a minimum fee release clause though. We'll just reduce all these. We're not giving you a sell-on fee either, if we can avoid it. I'll give you a 5% sell-on fee, but you're not keeping your minimum fee. There we are. If we can sign him and make him a permanent transfer for a relatively decent fee, I think he will come in and be our starting right back. I know Conor McLaughlin's been doing superbly, but he's a better player. So we're halfway through the January transfer window. If we could bring in Arezzo and that Patrick Burner, I would be delighted. There's Ballymumba signing a new deal. That has removed the interest from all the Premier League clubs. And he's developing still quite nicely. So MK Dons are next. We don't want Tommy Smith at the back. We want Tom Flanagan. McLaughlin, Denby Hume. Everybody looks relatively fit. I do want Thiago Lopez on the bench, though. I will back up left back. And we'll submit that squad and get to the game. The bad thing about losing Penaranda is Semenyo and Chris Maguire don't have that green link between them. They are not entirely comfortable playing together. But hopefully over the next few games that can start to develop whilst Penaranda is away on international duty. So MK Dons are playing on the counter. We'll have to be wary. First 15 minutes go by. Neither side really taking control as of yet. We'll stay the same for the next 15. Everything seems pretty 50-50. Chris Maguire with the first highlight of the game. Free kick played in. Nichols claims. I'm assuming this means that something else is going to happen. Is Willis going to win this? He is. Well done, son. Plays it to Chris Maguire. And now we can counter from the back. He's coming down the right-hand side. Got a lot of bodies over there, so if we try and switch it. Bally, you can do it. Now we are. Denver Hume should be the man on that, but Success goes out for it. Hume backing him up. Oh, great challenge by Thompson for MK Dons to stop Denver Hume from whipping that in. And now they're going to get it clear. We need to win this. Flanagan does well. Maguire out to Lyndon Gooch. There's the overlap from McLaughlin. Is he going to shoot? He is. Oh, he goes in. Conor McLaughlin. What a finish, my son. Our right back, who we've just been talking about replacing, gets his first goal of the season. That was absolutely a corker. Now, I know this is a bit choppy, but we'll see it again here. Lyndon Gooch out of Conor McLaughlin. And then, boom. The goalkeeper should save. He doesn't. And it just about manages to slip its way into the back of the net. So now that we're 1-0 up, I am going to reduce our team mentality to positive. With them being on the counter, that's pointless us staying on attacking when we are 1-0 up. And that is the first half done and dusted, beating MK Dons 1-0. I would be absolutely thrilled with a 1-0 win. We just need to keep the winning run going as long as we can, and keep up the pressure on Doncaster Rovers. If they start slipping up, we can start pulling away as George Dobson picks up the ball, finds Lyndon Gooch on the right hand side. He cuts in, goes go for goal. Gooch has never had a left foot. He's going to shoot with his right every single time, no matter the position. Reeves with a free kick from MK Dons. Oh my god. Mason hits the crossbar, an absolutely thunder shot. Success picks up a knock. That is not great. What we're going to bring on Will Grigg up top, put Semenyo out on that left hand side, bring on Josh Scowen for George Dobson in the defensive midfield role as well. Another highlight now, they just give us the ball from a throw-in. McLaughlin, I tell you what, he goes pretty... That was counted as a highlight because John McLaughlin almost let that in his own goal off a back pass. Yeah. 15 minutes to go, we'll look to make our final change. We'll bring on Thiago Lopez for Denver Hume in the left back spot. Can Denver have an effect on the game before he goes off? He's bombed forward. Oh, the ball goes over the top. Healy. Oh, he misses. I would have put money on MK Dons getting a goal there. Thankfully, we survived that one with 10 minutes to go. Oh, Lyndon Gooch picks up a knock. We've got no more subs. We are going to go on a more cautious team mentality. We'll put our wing backs back to support from attack. And we need to survive the final 5 minutes or so with 10 men. 6 minutes of injury time. Britain. Oh, no. Late on as well. We're down to 10 men. Nothing more we could do about that. It's not even like the 10 men would have mattered there. It just comes from a set piece. Can we hold out for the final few minutes? There's another highlight. Do not be another MK Dons chance. Conor McLaughlin picks up the ball on the right hand side. Inside to Josh Scowen. Ballymumba switches the play to Semenyo. Go on. Bury this, Bally. Plays it to Thiago Lopez. Good play. Will Grigg. Chris Maguire. Go on, son. Oh, he's hit the post. Ah. It's going to be 2 points dropped. 2 points dropped. Are Doncaster Rovers now top of the table? I think they probably will be. And guess who we've got next? Doncaster Rovers. Just a refresher if you didn't see the last stream. Doncaster Rovers smashed us 3-0 last time. We do still remain top. Donny Rovers dropped points as well. That is good news. They drew 0-0 with Coventry City. Oh, you're absolutely right so far. Ever since Wigan got promoted to the Premier League, I'm not giving Chris Maguire a new contract. Yeah, ever since Wigan got promoted, Will Griggs hasn't been able to make the step up with them. And then ever since he signed for Sunderland, he's been absolutely dreadful. Really, really poor. Chris Maguire's kicking up a fuss about wanting a new deal. The fact he's having a great season, don't get me wrong. But he is 30 years old. And if we are to be promoted, he's not quite... I know Penaranda's out. I'm not sure even what it is. What international competition happens in... He's with the Venezuelan under-23s for the South American qualifying. I think... I think we should use him a little bit more than them, but yeah, we'll have to survive without him. We're missing a lot of players for the next game. George Dobson suspended, Gooch injured, Success injured, Penaranda out on international duty. It'll be a bit of a struggle this game, but we'll try our best. We've got a capable squad. Our backups are not too bad. So we'll just have to wait and see if they can step up. I do want to see if Matthias Arezzo wants to join us or not. Or whether we'll get a work permit for him at all. Which is unlikely to happen, unfortunately. Work permit is unlikely. But you've got to test the waters. Oh, now the squad is starting to kick off. There we are. Managed to tart them round, thankfully. Otherwise, we might have had a mini squad revolt just before two of our most important games of the season. Doncaster Rovers in the league. Aston Villa away from home in the FA Cup. Scowen wants to go out on loan. He's bottled it as well. Tell you what, if someone comes to you asking they want to go out on loan, if you threaten them with a permanent transfer, they're always... Well, 9 times out of 10, they just want to stay. And I want to keep him as part of my squad. He's a good player. It's just unfortunate for him. He's in a squad with George Dobson and Ballymumba, who both have potential to increase and grow. So what was that? Did we draw Everton there? So we're playing Everton in the Leeson.com Trophy quarter-final. Everton's under 23s. Hopefully we'll make short work of them. We should do. We should be able to beat Everton's under 23s. That's not to say it's going to happen. So we are just waiting on 2 players potentially coming in this January transfer window. Then our transfers will probably be complete for the season. If we are to get promoted and confirmed, then we'll have another look at the contracts expiring list, because hopefully with the higher reputation and the higher status of the club, there might be a few more players who become interested in joining us. Right, Doncaster Rovers, first versus second. Biggest game of this save so far by a huge distance. We really need the win, or at the very least to avoid the draw. In the previous game we got stuffed 3-0. So George Dobson suspended, so Josh Scowen can come in the defensive midfield role. Oh, we're really, really struggling for options here. I don't want Duncan Watmore starting on the left. We'll put Chris Maguire out on the left. We'll put Semenyo up top. And we'll put Duncan Watmore on the right-hand side. Our attack is crap, like. Our attack, it's... With the loss of Lyndon Gooch and with the loss of Penaranda, our attack is a lot weaker than it would have been. But we're going to have to try our best. Doncaster Rovers come at us with a counter-attack on 4. 1, 2, 3. Highlight straight from kickoff. Come on, boys. Put us 1-0 up straight away. Duncan Watmore gives the ball away. Not again. Not again. Lovely play by Coppinger to find Taylor on this right-hand side. Gets into the box. Denver Hume with a good challenge. No penalty. Goes like, oh, it is a penalty. Oh, Jesus. We're a minute in. Sheaf steps up for Doncaster. Oh, God. It's going to be another one of them games. We'll skip that. We don't need to see it again. Another highlight. John McLaughlin taking control. Come on, boys. We need a quick equaliser. If we let this carry on like we did against them in the away tie, they're going to absolutely smash us. Scowen to Duncan Watmore on the right-hand side. Come on, Duncan. Oh, he gets past his man. Gets to the byline. The ref's giving a penalty. I don't know what for. I don't really care. Chris Maguire, come on, son. Put this in the back of the net. Chris. Oh, Chris. Why? Why no? You've been so reliable all season. Corner. Chris Maguire. Oh. We're only what, 6 minutes in? And I already wish this was over. Ah. Right, it's not over yet. We're only 15 minutes in. Where is the ball? McLaughlin with a throw-in. Plays it inside to Duncan Watmore, who plays it back out to McLaughlin. Gets blocked by Sheaf. Coppinger manages to get rid. Ballymumba keeps the pressure up, though. Semenyo is in behind. Come on, Semenyo. Oh, it's just saved by the keeper. Yeah, straight from kick-off so far, I know. It's unbelievable. Chris Maguire with the corner. He whips it in. Semenyo tries to get rid of Jordan Willis. Plays it back to Denver Hume. And that's a highlight. I can barely watch this. Did they loan Bailey right after we cancel his loan time? I wouldn't be surprised. Donny Rovers then come forward with Coppinger. Out to Taylor on the right hand side again. Denver, don't give a penalty this time. Do not. Oh, McLaughlin says, I thought that was a penalty. Chris Maguire with the corner. Come on. Plays it in. Who's there? The keeper's there. The keeper's there. Taylor comes down this right hand side. Goes for goal. Thankfully, it's a dreadful, dreadful strike. We are going to up the tempo in this game. We're not retaining possession that well, so hopefully our boys pumping it about a bit quicker might cause some gaps in their defence that we haven't been able to exploit so far. Conor McLaughlin, Josh Scowen, back to Conor. Whips it in. Maguire's there. He's hit the bar. Ballymumba. Oh, God's sake. What is it about Doncaster Rovers? Ennis to James for Doncaster. Remain calm, composed, boys. And I'll try the same. They're playing very expansive. Chris Maguire wins the ball on the left-hand side. He drives into the box. Go for goal. I wish he didn't go for goal. Oh, it's a corner for Doncaster. Coppinger plays it in. Ennis is there. Ballymumba manages to get clear. Ennis back out to Coppinger. Get the ball. No. Why? It's going to be 3-0 again, isn't it? It's going to be 3-0. You know, this session started so well. So well, we were battering teams. Now we're missing penalties, hitting bars, and conceding at every single opportunity. Going to go a little bit more direct. We're not working the ball in the box. Going to pass into space. Chris Maguire's having an absolutely dreadful game. Duncan Watmore's just picked up an injury. We'll have to take him off after this highlight. Duncan Watmore to Conor McLaughlin. 1 goal. Get it back. Semenyo. You know you're desperate when you're banking on Will Grigg. I am desperate. Will Grigg comes on for Duncan Watmore. We'll move Semenyo out to that right-hand side. He hasn't played very well up front either anyway, so we're not missing anything there. Highlight now. Donny Rovers currently in possession. We need to get a goal back and we need to do it quickly if we're to get anything out of this match. Sheaf picks it up in the centre. Closed down by George Dobson pretty well. Semenyo, can you win the ball? Any of yous? Coppinger to Whiteman. You can tell they're playing very slow tempo football. Right, plays it out the wing to Taylor. He loses it. Or Denver Hume. Come on, Denver. You've done some good stuff for me this season. Finds Will. Oh. Maguire picks it up. Come on, Chris. You owe me after missing that penalty. Plays it to Ballymumba. He plays it to Max Power. Josh Scowen. Slot through to Semenyo. Will Grigg. Will Grigg's off. I'm not singing that song. Absolutely not. I'll take it though. His first goal of the season. Of course it is. Oh, come on, Will. You can make the difference. Come on, 20 minutes to go. We're going very attacking. We're going for this. We need a point. We need a point. Blair. Out to right. They are really, really boring team to watch, Doncaster Rovers. Conor McLaughlin nips in. Semenyo. Oh, we're going to catch them on a counter. Josh Scowen. Into Ballymumba. Out to Conor McLaughlin on the right-hand side. Come on, Conor. Max Power. To Ballymumba. Denver Hume on the left. I'm liking it so far. Semenyo. Oh, not liking it so much. Flanagan. To Ballymumba. Out to Denver Hume on the left-hand side. Good crosses needed. It's Maguire. Chris Maguire. His 9th goal of the season. I'm going off very attacking, but I'm staying attacking. I'm not bothered. He owed me after missing the penalty, and we have drew things level at 2-2. Some nice play from us, keeping possession a lot. And Denver Hume turns provider. Chris Maguire's first shot was initially saved. The keeper having a very, very good game. Oh. Come on. Let's get the winner. 10 minutes to go. Listen, I'll take a point. I will take a point. Let's not throw it away, though. Let's not throw it away, boys. Are you listening? Boys, hello. Are you listening? Ramsey down the left-hand side. Plays it to Coppinger. Taylor. Shoots. McLaughlin saves. Right, I'm coming off attacking. I'm going balanced. I've bottled it. Highlight continues with Semenyo on the right-hand side. Plays it in. Maguire. Oh my God, Ballymumba. What a hero you are, my son. You are not only the talisman of our side, you are our hero. His 2nd goal of the season. We're going cautious. Oh, what a comeback. We needed this. If just for my own sanity, we needed this. I couldn't have suffered another defeat to Doncaster Rovers. And thankfully, hopefully, we won't have to. 2 minutes remain of regular time. They have went very attacking. 5 minutes to go. Come on, boys. Just hold out. 2 minutes left and there's a highlight. Oh. They're very attacking right now. And yet they still seem so boring. Taylor on the right-hand side. Oh, McLaughlin saves. Easy does it. Oh, there's another highlight. Please just let it run out. Scowen to McLaughlin. Oh, we'll give the ball away. I should have lowered the tempo. There's no time for it now, though. Denver Hume wins it. Oh, he gives it away. 20 seconds remain. Don't do this to me. Maguire does well to win the ball. Well done, Chris Maguire. McLaughlin needs to be confident. I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be the worst way. We're over the time, ref. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the clock. Come on. Come on. Just blow the full-time whistle, please. Will Grigg is the hero we all need in life. Ballymumba gets the winning goal. Oh, I'm exhausted. We now pull 3 points away from Doncaster Rovers with that win. We had to fight back. We had to fight hard for that in the second half, but we've managed to do it. Will Grigg being the shining light, coming on and changing things. Duncan Watmore's picked up an injury. That's not good. There's 2 of our right wingers out. Ballymumba is the man given man of the match for his winning goal. It was a good goal as well. Very good goal. That was a rough game. Rough game. But them are the sort of games you play a Football Manager for. The comebacks. Especially when it's such a crucial game as well. Aston Villa next. Out of the frying pan into the fire. FA Cup 4th round though. We've already matched our board's expectation of reaching the 4th round. So anything that happens in this next game is fine. Work permit is delayed for 6 days. We are probably not going to be able to get one for Matthias Erezo. £1 million it would cost us if he does though. And if he did come in, he would be replacing Penaranda in the squad. He will be our starting striker, no doubt about it. What's this shite? Get this off. We still haven't heard back from the right back we approached. Patrick Burner, we've offered a deal to. Has anybody else? Nobody else has went in for him currently. He's wanted by a lot of big sides. That's a good thing for us. As long as they don't approach them. Yeah, with Will Grigg up front so far, we can do anything. And he's the thing, I wanted to sell him during this window and get his 10k per week back into our club. Yeah, if we're going to sign Matthias Erezo, I'm offering Will Grigg back out. I don't care what he done for us there. Right, Tommy Smith wants to leave the club. I'm willing to sell him. He's not willing to leave, so he can sit in the squad instead. Semenyo, it's the first time we've seen him top of the training charts. Bristol City have got themselves a decent English kid there. He hasn't really hit the ground running for us, so to speak, but he has got a good number of goals and assists to his name. A lot of them coming from the bench. So away from home against Villa, you just go counter straight away, don't you? Their squad will be far too capable against ours. Oh, Hoffenheim have offered a contract for Burner. I'm going to up his deal a little bit. 7.5k, you can have 130k. I think we've lost out on this lad now. I think Hoffenheim will end up pinching Patrick Burner from us, unfortunately. Right, so Villa. We'll want a full strength squad out against Villa. Tom Flanagan's still suspended, so Tommy Smith can get his game time in at centre back. Thiago Lopez starting at left wing. I don't like the look of that. Not one little bit. So we'll go and same again. Maguire out on the left hand side. We'll bring in Max Power in attack and midfield. And that is everything. We need our suspensions and injuries to recover quickly. We need to get them back in. So, Premier League opposition. Jack Grealish coming up against our boys. Can we do it? I don't think we can. We're going to try our best though. We are going to go cautious straight from kick-off. And let's just try and catch them on the counter. A positive first 10. Nothing happening. I'm happy with that. Looks like we are killing the game a little bit with how we are playing, which is fine. 21 minutes gone. Villa come forward though with El Ghazi on this right hand side. Come on, Denver, you can get him. Back out to Danny Drinkwater. Douglas Luiz in the centre. They are playing very narrow. Kozra, El Ghazi, Nakamba picks up the ball on the left hand side. Plays it in El Ghazi's back post. Hits the bar. Trezeguet. McLaughlin with a good save. Right, they are attacking so narrowly. It's not even funny. So defensive width. We'll go standard. Just to keep in mind the bombing on wing backs of Henry Konza and Nakamba. Jack Grealish with a corner. It's whipped in. Back post. Douglas Luiz. John McLaughlin with another good save. We're going to be relying on him for some heroics this game if we're to get anything out of it. We are going to up our tempo and go slightly more direct. We're going to be on the back foot all game. We're not going to be knocking this about keeping possession. So when we do get it, we just need to hopefully exploit the spaces that are left. If we can get in that 0-0, I'd be a very pleased manager. Kozra plays El Ghazi's in the box. Great shot. Hits the post. Oh, if I was the Aston Villa manager, I would be raging. And there we have it. Aston Villa 0, Sunderland 0. I am very, very pleased with how things are going. Keep it up, boys. If we can even take it to a replay, I'll be relatively pleased. Bringing them back to the stadium alight. El Ghazi on the right hand side. He's got the Henry Konza overlapping. Oh, comes to Trezeguet. He misses. Could this be the match? Could we pinch this? An absolute smash and grab. I would take. I'm not above that. I would take it all day. El Ghazi. John McLaughlin saves. I'm liking how it's going. Jack Grealish with a corner. Whipped in. Max Power gets clear. Semenyo. Can you set away Will Grigg? Finds Will Grigg. Is this highlight continuing or is it really secretly over? I think it's secretly over. You can't expect Will Grigg to be doing a one-man band and winning. He's just a poacher. 20 minutes to go in this match. No changes. I'm not making any changes just yet. Got Josh Scowen out to come on in the centre of midfield. Thiago Lopez out to come on at right, left back. Oh, no. McLaughlin with a save. What is happening? What is happening? Right, now we'll make changes. Denver Hume can come off Thiago Lopez. Semenyo is going to have to stay on. Luke O'Neill can come on for Conor McLaughlin. Max Power. Put Ballymumba in attacking midfield. Bring on Josh Scowen in the centre. I think that's the move. 6 minutes to go. Are we going to get a replay out of this? 3 minutes. I mean, we've rode our luck in this game, don't get me wrong, but I'm very, very pleased with the 0-0 away draw against Premier League sides. Well done, boys. Absolutely fantastic. Whew. We've still got a chance. We could still make it to the FA Cup 5th round. And I would be buzzing with that. Only a week or so left to go of the January transfer window. We've only got 2 targets, both of which are unlikely to join us. But I'm relatively pleased with how the squad is shaping up for the rest of the League One season. As long as the injuries subside a little, the suspensions stop, Penaranda returns from his international duty, then we should be relatively easily well equipped for the rest of the season. Maybe I will look for another loan signing. Attacking midfield. Centre. Chris Maguire is covering quite a lot for us at left wing with Isaac's success out, so having somebody who's natural in attacking midfield centre would be a positive for sure. But I might wait till the end of the window for that. There's Red Bull Leipzig going in for Patrick Burner as well. I mean, we are offering him first team football. Probably not offering him as many wages as the other teams are. Let's see what he prefers. Because there's no way he's going to be a starter at Red Bull Leipzig. Or Hoffenheim for that matter. Maguire, I would like to take him off, but unfortunately we've got nobody to play left wing. He's our only fit left winger currently. While Semenyo is being used on the right hand side. We are suffering from one too many injuries and suspensions to be able to comfortably rotate and take players off. Tranmere tomorrow, away from home in the league. Arezzo's work permit will be decided tomorrow as well. We will be appealing it if it gets rejected, but I won't be signing him unless he can get one. I don't think he got enough points from the transfer fee for the actual transfer to make its way through. We did offer him enough wages, but transfer fee being only $1 million, I think it needed to be about $6 million to earn the points. And unfortunately for us, he doesn't really get the starting time in the international setup. Is the work permit decision going to come in before this match or after? There's Watford in for Patrick Burner as well. We've got absolutely bob up. Unfortunately, Mateus has been put on hold after the initial application for work permit has been denied. One appeal. It's going to be decided tomorrow, so we will find out tomorrow if we can sign him or not. As I said, likelihood is he's going to not be able to join us. Chummy, are you interested in talking to me yet? Still not interested in talking to me. We don't need a centre-back, Sam. Stop looking. Right, Tranmere Rovers. What are we looking at injuries and suspension-wise? Success is back. Happy days. Semenyo, Chris Maguire can come back to his usual central midfield spot. Both of our right wings are still injured, so Semenyo is going to have to stay despite his dreadful form. Scowen comes in for the suspended Dobson. And Tommy Smith comes out for Flanagan. Jordan Willis is on the edge. He needs to start upping his game if he wants to be a regular fixture of my first 11. So Tranmere are sitting in mid-table. Going to be no easy side to beat, but we're coming off the back of a huge win against Doncaster Rovers in the league. I'm hoping the boys take confidence from it and give the ball away 3 minutes in. Thankfully, Tom Flanagan wins it. Will Griggs in behind. Oh, good save by the keeper. Free kick anyway. He was offside, but it would have been a nice goal. Free kick for them's played forward. Wilson on this left-hand side finds Ferrier. We've got a lot of bodies back. We're defending well. Blackett Taylor whips it in. Ferrier. Oh, he goes just wide. Tranmere going very, very close early on. They are playing on the counter. It's something we're going to have to monitor. Maybe go positive. I'm not too pleased with how things are going so far. Denver Hume on the left-hand side with the throw and finds Bally Mumba, who moves forward. Josh Scowen back out to Denver Hume, who's found a pot of space. Chris Maguire back out to Denver Hume. Is he going to whip it in? No. Back to Chris Maguire, who finds Will Grigg in the box. Can he turn? Finds Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo gets his 8th goal of the season. Will Grigg with the assist. He's just a genius, Will Grigg, really, isn't he? It's absolutely fantastic. Semenyo has struggled for form recently, so it's nice to see him get that goal, and hopefully it's the start of a turnaround. Look, he's probably still going to be a first 11 choice member for quite a while with the injuries as they are. Half an hour gone, we have ourselves another highlight. It's Tranmere Rovers in possession with Woodyard. Finds Wilson on the left-hand side. Can we win that? Jordan Willis wins it, but cannot find one of our men. He finds Ferrier instead. He has to go all the way back to Wilson at left back. Ball's played forward. We win it. They win it back. We're just not getting to that second ball. Josh Scowen, though, does absolutely fantastically to win the ball in the centre of midfield. Plays it out to Semenyo on the right-hand side. Back out to Conor McLaughlin. Maguire in the box. Loses it, but Josh Scowen picks it up. Out to Isaac Success. Yes, he returns from injury and he gets his 20th goal of the season from left wing and puts us 2-0 up. We can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief now. We are fairly comfortable in the game, holding the majority of the possession. Tranmere not really creating anything in the final third. They haven't changed the system since going 2-0 down either, still choosing to play on the counter-attack. It's a bit like FIFA. But they're doing it there. There's the change. They move to a more balanced approach. We'll see how that affects the match stats and see if they are coming into the game anymore after that change. And we might have to react. But hopefully the game will just become a little bit more comfortable now with them opening up a little bit more. Semenyo on the right hand side. Goes back to Josh Scowen, to Maguire. Well worked. A nice little triangle there. Is he going to play it to Conor McLaughlin? He is. Is he going to whip it in? He drives into the box. Finds Isaac. It was coming away from him. It would have been a difficult header to get on target, so we can forgive him for that. I do want to get him off at some point as well. Success. Just in case there's going to be an injury. And we do have a penalty. Semenyo is brought down in the box. Who is the man stepping over it? It is Will Grigg. Is he on fire or is he not? He is. He is. Will Grigg's on fire. It's his second goal of the season. Maybe I should add some more faith in him. I don't have any faith in him. Right. Substitutes are afoot. I want to get Isaac Success off. We'll put Chris Maguire out there on the left-hand side and we'll bring on Max Power in the attacking midfield role. Conor McLaughlin, Luke 09. That swap can be made easily. I would like to keep Semenyo fit as well, but we don't have any options. There's not even like a central midfielder I'll bring on to actually play on the right wing, so we're going to save the final substitute just in case we need to make a change due to injury. But other than that, 3-0 up against Tranmere away from home is a fantastic, fantastic scoreline with only 18 minutes remaining. Gilmore, though, comes forward down the left-hand side for Tranmere. Ballymumba does well to get back and defend it. Oh my God, I always get nervous. John McLaughlin. Willis out to Ballymumba. Semenyo on the right-hand side. Gets past his man. The man gets backwards. Good challenge by him. Oh, dodgy passes. Dodgy passes to the goalkeeper. Jordan Willis wins it. Ballymumba. Back to Max Power. Flanagan. Can we do something with this? Semenyo wins the ball on the right-hand side. Go on, whip it in. Go on. No, he finds Max Power. To Josh Scowen. Back to Luke 09. He shoots and he scores. Luke 09 gets his second goal of the season from right back. And he puts us 4-0 up. Only 15 minutes to go. We will look to probably make our final substitute in about 5 or 10 minutes time. Max Power. The ball's whipped in by Luke 09 and falls to Ballymumba. Josh Scowen out to Denver Hume on the left hand side. Okay, you going to Maguire? Somebody? Denver? Semenyo? Yeah, Semenyo. 5-0. Semenyo's 9th goal of the season. Absolutely fantastic stuff. That comeback against Doncaster Rovers is hopefully going to set us up beautifully for the second half of the season. 18 minutes to go. We're just going to get Semenyo off. We're going to bring... my assistant recommended Joe Lynch, the centre-back, to start our right wing. So I'm just following the assistant manager's recommendations. Flanagan with a long punt up to nobody, really. Gilmore picks it up on the left-hand side for Tranmere. Back out towards Month to Luke 09. Tries to find Will Grigg. Oh, the defender slips. Will Grigg's in behind. Will Grigg's 3rd goal of the season. Will Grigg or Penaranda? Who should we be playing? Because I'll tell you what, Will Grigg, he really is proving me wrong right now. And there we have it. Tranmere 0, Sunderland 6. fantastic result. Fantastic performance from all of the boys. Doncaster Rovers did win themselves, so we didn't extend our lead, but we didn't lose any of it either. Greg is the man with the man of the match. 2 goals and an assist for him today. And we have Portsmouth away from home in 3 days' time. How are Portsmouth doing this season? Currently sitting in 9th. So not the team I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. I thought it was going to be between us, whoever won the league or got automatic promotion. Still be a really, really rough game though, I would imagine, away from home. We should be full of confidence though after that Tranmere 6-0 win. We will be finding out today whether Arezzo joins the club or not. It's rejected. Want to cancel the transfer. We will not be signing Matthias Arezzo during this transfer window, unfortunately. It would have been a great signing for £1 million. But if it's not to be, it's not to be. We've still got the option of maybe Patrick Byrne joining us. But of course he has opportunities to join Hoffenheim and Red Bull Leipzig and Watford have all made contract offers for him. So the likelihood is the squad that we've got now is going to be the squad that we finish off the season with. But before that, I'm going to have a quick look at the loan list. See who's available in the attacking midfield role. If the game is to let me. It's got a lot to process. It's near the end of January. Our replay against Aston Villa is the game after this Portsmouth game. Another huge game. Ipswich Town at home after that seems like another huge game. The next 3 games or so could be absolutely massive for the course of our season. But I'm relatively pleased with how the stream's gone today. Being able to reclaim our position at the top. Beat Doncaster Rovers in the fashion that we did. We did drop points. I think it was in 1 game, but I think we've won everything else in the league, which is fantastic. I just hope we can really, really push on for the back end of this season and not get sacked. And that means winning the league. I don't think the board would sack me if I got automatic promotion. Considering I've met every single other target, if I was just to falter just a little bit in the league, as long as I get automatically promoted, I think they would let me stay. I'm hoping so anyway. I'm not going to take part in deadline day. Nobody got time for that. Right. Let's have a look at the loan list. Striker or attacking midfielder centre. That's what I want. Loan listed. Let's have a look. I'm not bothered if they're interested in a transfer. Let's see if they are interested in a loan deal. I'm hoping we can maybe find a couple of boys who we don't have to pay any wages for at all. We'll take another look at our projection for the finances towards the end of the season. I'm hoping we can at least try and stay positive. But I wouldn't be surprised if we can't. So we've got Angel Gomes, Curtis Jones. Straight away, eyes that players that pop out, because Angel Gomes, similar to Chris Maguire, can play both attacking midfield and the left. We'll have to wait and see if Manchester United want any of his wage budget. And then Curtis Jones is a similar sort of player. Can play across the attacking midfield and would give us plenty of covering option going forward. Left hand side as well. I think I prefer the look of Curtis Jones, to be honest. He's on 12k per week. They want 12k per week from him as well. Oof, that's rough. I don't want to pay him 12k per week. Hopefully, Angel Gomes doesn't. They don't want that much. 10.5. I don't want to pay that either. Brennan Johnson, 18-year-old Welshman from Forest. I'll pay the one 85k per month as well. Get lost. I'm not paying nearly 400k for a loan too. Are you tripping, boys? Bohinin looks decent. He's already got offers in. Hopefully he'll be more interested in a move to England than a move to Norway. 3.7k per week wages for the rest of the season. That's the sort of deal I can get behind. The offer has been accepted. Let's see if we can bring him in. He's mainly just to bolster the squad for the run-in for the end of the season. We are having some difficulties getting cover for the attacking positions, so he would be ideal just to come in and sit in the squad. I wouldn't be that tempted to give him much game time. And there's Patrick Berner. We did offer him more money than Hoffenheim offered him, but he's decided he would rather go and join them as a fringe player than a starting player for us, which is fair enough. Hoffenheim, obviously being a Bundesliga club and us being a League One club, has played a massive part in that decision process. Well, it doesn't matter. We can deal without him. Conor McLaughlin. Right, come on then, game. I think our January transfer window is over once this Leon player decides if he wants to join us or not. I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't improve the first team squad as much as I would have hoped. Not being able to sign Matthias Arezzo and then Patrick Berner as well is a bit disappointing. But we did get in a new left back, Thiago Lopez from Porto, who's playing. He's very much just a backup to Denver Hume. We also signed a couple of players for our under-23s as well with high potential. Unfortunately, so far, I don't think any of them are currently interested in a loan from myself at this bit. I've got my filter set up so even as long as they're a little bit interested, they'd show up on my loan list. I'm relatively happy with the quality of the first team squad anyway. I don't think we need to improve our players. It's just a case of making sure we've got enough bodies in to be able to see us through the rest of the season. And I think we will have. I think we've just been a little bit unlucky with Penaranda going on international duty. Oh, he rejected our offer. I was interested in Pedro Chivarella to sign him at the end of the season. His contract is running out. We can't do that currently. Do you know what? I think our squad will survive the rest of this season. We've got Will Grigg back in form. Luke O'Nien can play attacking midfield if we're desperate, as can Max Power. It's mainly the wings with Lyndon Goochen due to return from injury. Hopefully should be fine. Should hopefully be absolutely fine. So, Portsmouth in 9th. They'd be relatively disappointed with their season so far, I would imagine. Away from home's always tricky for us because I don't know if I should just go for it, or whether I should potentially look to knock it down a little bit. Is the stream stuttering for you boys? Let me know. Doesn't say I'm having any issues, but I am hearing the buffering. Mainly in the music. I just want to thank you all for joining me as well. Obviously, an afternoon stream isn't always the most popular, but we've got 9 ears in here. Thank you for sticking around. I'm actually really enjoying the Sunderland save. I think our squads will confirm the selection. January transfer window is over. No new signings incoming. And we just go back to league action. You experienced little problems so far. Yeah, hopefully it should be a bit better now. I have to remind myself for the next stream to drop our bitrate just a little bit. Yeah, I heard the music stuttering from my side, which lets me know that something's not quite right. Seems to be okay for the past minute or so. Sunderland chairman looking to step aside. We know he wants to leave the club. Rumoured to take over from a potential investor could be in the offing. Hopefully, before the end of the season, we do have a takeover. Right. Today's game then, Portsmouth. Who is going to be our starting lineup? Flanagan is fit. Jordan Willis is not that fit though, so we're going to drop him and play Tom Flanagan and Tommy Smith at centre back. We are really struggling for fitness here. Want Thiago Lopez on the bench. Got nobody for that right hand side apart from Semenyo. Chris Maguire can play on the right hand side though, so that might be a change we end up making. I'm relatively content with that. In what is a pretty rotated side against Portsmouth, Cameron McGeehan, I know he's a good player. We had him at Barnsley in our very first season. Or was it the second season? I can't remember. We had him though, because I remember selling him for like 6 million. Good side Portsmouth have got, but we have a good side as well. So let's get the kick off and see if Will Grigg can inspire the boys to another 3 points. They're playing on the counter. 10 minutes to... Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris Maguire. What a goal, my son. Let's see that in 3D. I don't care if it's stuttery. Get it up. Pull it up. His 10th goal of the season. Puts us 1-0 up 10 minutes in. And that is why we play Chris Maguire. Absolutely superb free kick. Back. Top corner. Keeper had no chance. Unbelievable stuff. I'll have to think about offering him a new contract for next season. Even if it's just to have him in the squad. He's a nice guy. Oh, they're going to do it. Oh, close. Goes close. Half an hour gone. Well, we are going to go to a more positive team mentality. Move off the attacking. Let's remove my phone so it stops making noises. Yeah, we'll go to a positive one just to try and avoid Portsmouth coming at us straight away. Denver Hume coming down the left-hand side. Oh, he gets past his man and goes for goal. McKiddle there with an easy save. McGeehan on the ball, out of close. Got options on both wings. He finds Johnson on the right-hand side. Come on, Denver. Win this. No. Oh, what a save, John McLaughlin. Oh, Portsmouth come very, very close. Almost immediately. We're going to go to a balance from positive. Looking at the match stats, Portsmouth have definitely come back more into the game after the first goal. So we need to be more wary of that. Conor McLaughlin coming down the right-hand side. Plays it back to Dobson, to Maguire. Come on, Will. Where's your movement? Mumba. There's the movement from Denver Hume on the left-hand side. He's going to go for goal, isn't he? No, he's not. Semenyo back post. Semenyo. Should probably be doing a little bit better with that one. Putting us 2-0 up. And there's success with an injury. Right. That's not good. We could really, really do with avoiding him getting injured. We're going to put Chris Maguire out on the left. We're going to put Max Power in attacking midfield. And we are really struggling for numbers right now. Hello, Pete. How's it going, mate? We're back top of the league. We beat Doncaster. You missed a hell of a game against Doncaster. But we're getting beat 2-0 at home. Ended up winning 3-2. We've made a couple of signings in January, but mainly youngsters. Ones for the future. Missed out on a couple of fantastic players. Patrick Burner was a right back who we approached who's decided to join Hoffenheim instead of us. Can you believe it? And there was Matthias Arezzo, was a South American youngster striker who would have came in and been first choice for £1 million, but unfortunately his work permit fell through. But yeah, we've won pretty much every game, apart from one in the league. I think we drew against, was it MK Dons? Oh, we'll go close. Semenyo. Dobson, nah, he runs it out of play. But yeah, we're not getting sacked, Pete, which is the main thing. Dobson on the right. He's going to go forward himself. Plays it in. It's cleared. Portsmouth haven't really offered too much in the second half. They looked a lot more threatening in the first. Conor McLaughlin on the right-hand side. Whips it in. Will Grigg to Maguire. Chris Maguire gets his 11th goal of the season. He's braced for today. And he puts us 2-0 up with only 15 minutes to go. Semenyo has to come off. We're bringing Josh Scowen on. I know it's not ideal. We'll bring on Thiago Lopez for Chris Maguire as well. We just have to make them changes. Our squad is really, really struggling for fitness right now. We could do with a week off. A week off in games. Just to allow the injured players to come back in. I could get sacked football from if I don't win the league. The board expect me to win the league. And even when I was in second, my board rating was a C. Having hit every other objective they've sent me. So if I didn't win the league and I didn't get promoted automatically, I think I could get sacked. We'll see the club vision here. I'm top of the league. I've passed every single other objective and I'm still on a B. They are pleased with the team in very good form. We're just worried. Okay. We could get sacked. It could happen. Hopefully not, though. We've got 14 more games of the season to go. We're 6 points clear from Doncaster now. They must have just been beat in their last game, which is huge. They got beat off Fleetwood away from home, which is fantastic news. Blackpool still have a couple of games on us, but they can't get closer than Doncaster are, so we're assuming they win both their games with 7 points clear in the automatic promotion spots, which is lovely stuff. Isaac Sosa's injury is not too bad. He's only out for 1 to 3 days. That is fantastic. Chris Maguire, our hero from yesterday, from yesterday's game. And next up is Aston Villa in the fourth round of the FA Cup in a replay. We did play them away from home in January and managed to survive with a 0-0 draw. It was absolutely heroic. But I think, boys, I do go to watch Sunderland football from as often as I can. That is going to be the end for today, lads. Aston Villa will be next time. I'm going to be doing a pretty long stream tomorrow, so if you're around tomorrow afternoon, I want to finish this season. So we got a lot of games to get through. And then I just can't wait for the summer transfer window of hopefully us being in the Championship for the very first season. So lads, that's enough from me. I will see you tomorrow if you're around. I'm very thankful to those of you who did drop in. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you later. Take it easy. Oh yeah, Yo-Yo Man, out 6:15.